Beyond the classics like Ghost in Shell, Akira, and a few hidden gems like Suzume, Your Name, and obviously the endlessly popular Studio Ghibli, anime movies as a whole are severely underrated. But I think they're so perfect for if you don't have a lot of time, if you want like short, unique stories, or if you're just getting started into anime. And thanks to the success of my last video, I asked you guys on my community page if you guys would rather get a part 2 of underrated anime TV shows or part 2 or movies, and it was pretty close, but the movies came first, so that's what I'm doing today, which is perfect because I'm going to see the Haikyuu movie in T-minus 4 hours. Happy birthday to me. And so with that, let's go ahead and get into my top 10 underrated anime movies. But I don't know what that was. Of course, I can't do a video like this without including my favorite anime of all time, A Silent Voice. And as good as this anime movie is, I mean, I recommended this to so many people and I've never had anyone tell me they didn't like it. It was unfortunately very overshadowed by another popular anime that also came out in 2016, Your Name. And unlike Your Name, it is not this very fun, quirky love story. It is a coming-of-age redemption story that will 100% make you bawl your eyes out. And if you're completely unfamiliar with The Silent Voice is a beautifully animated movie revolving around a former bully, Shoya Ishida, who attempts to mend a relationship that was broken in his immaturity with Shoka Nishimiya, a kind deaf girl. This story explores so many beautiful themes that anime series and anime movies don't normally touch on, such as depression, issues faced by the deaf community, and suicide. But beyond that, what's an even more beautiful part is that it forms an unlikely romance/friendship that comes with forgiving and maturing beyond one's past. And honestly, as much as I cried, it also was just a very beautiful story, so I definitely feel like this had to kick off the list. Next up is my second favorite anime movie of all time, and honestly, it's like so on the opposite end of the spectrum from our last one, and it is Perfect Blue. It's directed by one of my favorite directors. It's also written by him, and his name is Satoshi Kon. You'll kind of see a few of his movies on this list, and I love a lot more that didn't make it on the list. But this 1997 psychological thriller explores the dark world of Japanese idols, much like Oshinoko, but honestly much darker. The story follows a pop singer, Mima Kirigo, who leaves her popular idol group Cham to become an actress. However, in the midst of her transition, she slowly goes insane when she starts being stalked by an obsessive fan and what seems to be a ghost of her past. There's a lot to unpack in the movie, and again, I don't want to give away a lot because it will definitely be a disservice because unraveling the mystery is one of the beauties of the film. But if you like darker yet riveting stories that will make you think a lot and keep you on the edge of your seat, then Perfect Blue is the perfect watch for you. That rhymed, baby!
Fuck, I hate when he rhymes.
Okay, I know that this video so far and my last video featured a lot of darker anime that maybe was not some of y'all's cup of tea. I'm quite attracted to anime like that, but I get not everyone is, so this next one is for you. It is a super bright and fun anime movie.
I'm sickened but curious.
That I discovered on Amazon Prime, and it is called Pompo the Cinephile. Pompo the Cinephile follows a young girl, Pompo, who is an extremely talented but young movie producer who inherited her grandfather's connections and cinematic eye. Despite her talent, Pompo only produces trashy B-movies until her assistant, Gene Finney, has an ambitious screenplay. Pompo finally gives Gene the moment he's been waiting for all of his life, and through the movie we get to follow the two characters as they work through problems, deal with overwhelming deadlines, and overall just Gene's inexperience, but it definitely highlights the fun of movie making. As a filmmaker myself, I absolutely love this movie, but even if you aren't in the film industry and you just love movies in general, then this one will also be for you. But what makes it even better than that is just its very vibrant colors and its quirky yet impactful editing. I have never even still to this day seen an anime movie or series edited quite like this, especially when Jean is like in this like very tense scene of having to cut the movie down. Chef's kiss. It was so good. From start to finish, this movie will catch your attention and just put you in a really feel-good mood. So I definitely recommend this if you're looking for something a little bit lighter. Okay, next up is another Satoshi Kon movie. I'm moving quickly in hopes that this won't be too long, but this one is Millineum Actress. Millineum Actress is a vibrantly detail-oriented 2001 anime about Chiyoko Fujiwara, a renowned actress who has led a life full of mystery and mysteries, and a documentarian, Ginyet Hachibana, who is on a mission to discover the life of Chiyoko in her old age. As she explores her past, we get to witness Chiyoko transform from a teen with a big dream to a renowned celebrity as her career spans from various areas of Japan. I believe it goes from like ancient Japan to close to modern Japan. And these stories are told so effortlessly and elegantly through flashbacks of the star's roles that it blends and blurs the boundaries between past and present, which I think is really unique and a fun twist to the story. What makes this story so special beyond that though, and beyond its beauty, is its complex stories, beautifully written dialogue, and emotionally yet relatable plot. And while it's not as dark as the rest of Satoshi Kon's films, it's still a must-see for fan of his, and a must-see for people who love dramas and a little bit of just sort of, it's not a coming-of-age film, but a sort of reliving one's past. Next up is an anime movie I actually just very recently watched, and it is a 2018 fantasy drama anime called Maquia When the Promised Flower Blooms. Maquia follows the titular character, who is a lolf. Lolfs are an immortal race known for two things in particular. One, their immortality slash their youthful visage. They basically all look like kids slash teens, and their peaceful lives weaving tapestry. When their world is thrown into chaos by those believing that Lolf's blood bears longer life, Maquia is tossed into the human world with no hopes of return. But there is a short-lived salvation for Maquia. I say short-lived because it kind of goes back and forth as she meets an infant that she decides to raise as her own. However, as Ariel, the child, grows older than Maquia, distance is cast between the two, so it's a lot about mending or creating relationships and breaking them and coming back together. I haven't seen Frieren, but it seems to be a lot like Frieren as well, just from what I have heard about the series. It's a severely underrated tearjerker, but there still is a sort of bittersweet ending that I think will leave you very satisfied, and it's not so sad or so dark that you won't want to watch the movie. I personally didn't cry, but I know a lot of people will, and honestly, it's so underrated it hurts my soul, so please just definitely watch this one if you like fantasy, if you like Frieren, if you like drama, any of those, please watch it. Please. Okay, so enough tears for now. Next up is another Satoshi Kon film, Paprika. I do believe this is the last on the list, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, this 2006 film is perfect for science fiction lovers. It follows Dr. Atsuko Chiba, our main character, who is a scientist by day, and a dream detective by night who goes by the codename Paprika. To enter dreams, Paprika and her colleagues use a machine called the DC Many, which is intended to help psychiatric patients. However, in the wrong hands, it could destroy people's lives and completely warp people's minds. And when the prototype for the device is stolen, that possibility is well in sight. So Paprika and her friends must spring into action and recover the device before the damage is done. I won't give away too much more, as like many Satoshi films, unraveling the mysteries and pulling back the quirky layers is a part of what makes it so fun to watch. This one is definitely not super dark, but it's still really fun, really quirky, and honestly, if you love sci-fi, if you love fun animation, and if you love films like Inception, this movie is 100% for you. Next up is a relatively new Netflix anime that came out in 2022. and that is Drifting Home. Drifting Home is a coming-of-age fantasy and adventure which follows two childhood best friends, Kosuke Kumagaya and Natsume Tonai. They basically grew up as siblings, and the two 11-year-olds' relationships soon begin to strain after the death of Kosuke's grandfather, who both were close to. However, one day during their summer vacation, Kosuke and his 4 classmates sneak into a ghost housing complex slated for demolition. This complex not only holds the memory of Kosuke and Natsume's happy childhood, but also becomes the vessel that forces the children into the middle of the ocean. And it's the beginning is a little bit slow, but as they get out there, it's very interesting. It has ghosts, it has supernatural phenomenon, and honestly, the only way for the children to get back is to look within themselves. And it's just a very heartfelt film. It shares the importance of change, letting go of the past, and just sort of how change can be something beautiful and something very necessary, which I think is a great lesson, and seeing that through children is really just beautiful, and the beautiful animation only heightens that. So I definitely think this is a must-see for anyone, really. Now we're winding down with number 8 on this list being another Netflix anime, Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. This romantic comedy drama is set in a Japanese countryside village where our two lonely and quirky main characters seek companionship. Cherry, a shy boy who expresses himself through haiku and wears headphones, and Smile, a bubbly yet self-conscious girl who wears a face mask, seek companionship. The two form a very symbiotic but almost like very opposites attract, where they help each other overcome their insecurities, Cherry with his communication issues, and Smile with her insecurities of her front teeth. But unfortunately for them, even overcoming those insecurities, they still have many challenges to face as friends, as a partnership, as a relationship. And of course I don't want to give away too many more details, as you should watch it for yourself. But if you love quirky, almost uplifting anime with beautiful colors, a fun art style, then this 2021 slice of life anime movie is perfect for you. Winding down, we have a 2018 romantic tragedy drama, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. The story follows two high school students who meet after an aloof boy, Haruki Shiga, or Boku as he's referred to, finds a book in a hospital waiting room. It's later revealed to be the book/diary of a classmate, Sakura Yamauchi, who suffers from a terminal illness. And she has not told anybody about this illness, so the two sort of form this very unlikely friendship around that secret. And they sort of find themselves doing so much together in everyday life as Sakura lives out her final moments, finally feeling relief that she can share with somebody that she's dying. This coming-of-age drama is both bittersweet as Sakura finds peace in death finally after living her final moments with Haruki, and leaving behind Haruki, who then must search for the same peace. And it's very tragic because he's such a shy boy and he's finally brought out of that shell, but thankfully Sakura does sort of leave him a gift that brings hope that he will continue to get out of his shell and continue to be able to live his life in a way that she would have wanted him to. The unfortunate thing about this movie is really only that it's a hard to find movie, and I think that's probably why it's pretty underrated. However, I'm not saying to pirate it, okay? Listen to my words. I'm not saying to pirate it, but make like Monkey D. Luffy and watch this movie, because it's a must-see for people who love romance or tragedy or dramas, or just want to see two people figuring out life when life is so short. Lastly is the oldest anime on this list, Spriggan. I did get a sort of complaint on my last video that I didn't include a lot of older movies. I think my oldest movie, or my oldest show, was 2016, so I'm trying to do that with this video. But it did actually get a Netflix TV show. I haven't seen the Netflix show. I don't know how similar it is to the movie. I don't know anything about it other than it has a show. So if anybody has seen the show, definitely let me know in the comments how you like it. But the movie itself is a 1998 sci-fi action film about a secret organization known as Arkham, which is found Noah's Ark. However, when the US Machine Corps want to take over the Ark as a means of global supremacy, because America, only a special Arkham operative known as Spriggan can stop them. So Japanese Spriggan Yu Omine must team up with French Spriggan Jean-Jacques Mondo to combat the US Machine Corps, led by a genetically enhanced boy with psionic powers, Colonel McDougal. Colonel McDougal, my bad.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony!
This movie is very much about power struggling, world supremacy, inequality, but despite all of that, it is a super fun and enjoyable movie from start to finish, and unfortunately, it was incredibly overshadowed by some of the most well-known anime films of all time, Akira and Ghost in Shell, which came out around the same time. But that does not make it any less worthy of your attention. So if you're definitely looking for some older anime, or you watched the show and you liked the show and you want to see another version of it, I definitely recommend this. And I know I talked fast, I know we went through these pretty quickly, but I definitely feel like these types of videos that I make are just an idea to kind of get you into looking more into anime movies and TV shows. So between my short synopsis, my reasons for loving it, and the sort of animation and scenes you'll see over my video, over my voice, I hope that it gives you a good idea of some anime movies that you might want to watch, and definitely look out for a part 2 of my anime series, because I could do so many parts to movies and series that are underrated. But we could do 40-minute long videos and I still would have more. So let me know in the comments below, like last time, which ones you ditch from the list, which ones you'd add to the list, which ones you agree with, disagree with. Let's have a full conversation in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!